Who's there? Nobody you know. That's right. Welcome to the Nobody You Know podcast. They might not be famous, but they certainly have a lot to say. Let's get into today's episode.
After a long, tiring day at work, odds are you can't wait to get home, put on your comfy clothes, grab a drink, and post up on the couch to watch your favorite reality show. Today's episode is all about the psychology behind why humans are so obsessed with reality shows, and in particular, the ones about love. Specifically, we're going to break down the history of reality dating shows, the most popular ones, and some of the couples that are still together, and basically what experts say about our healthy or not so healthy addiction to these types of shows. So, Gus, do you want to take it away?
So what qualifies as a reality TV is a show or a program to document supposedly unscripted real-life situations. So this type of shows usually stars an unknown or regular people, although there are plenty of reality shows where featuring celebrities these days.
Right.
So that's kind of what a reality TV show is supposed to be.
Right.
We think of reality TV as like it started in this time period because they became wildly popular, but that's not true. They started right after the TV became the medium of telling stories. So right when the TV shows started, there was a radio show. In this moment, I forgot the name and I lost the paper where I had it. But that's how it started. The real TV shows started in radio. And when TV started, it became part of the reality TV shows. The first game about love was this show called, how can I forget? The Dating Game.
The dating game.
And you said this was a reality
TV show, which it was back then probably named reality TV show. It was just called a dating game, like a game.
Yeah.
And it was on ABC in 1965.
Wow.
Do you want to talk us a little bit, SP?
I read a little bit about this little dating game show. And when I first started to get more information, I kind of got the feeling that, this kind of sounds like something we see now. If I'm not mistaken, Love is Blind. I can imagine this dating game show back in 1965 with the bachelor or bachelorette on one side and having him or her three candidates or his three candidates on the other side, where they ask each other questions, but they don't look at each other until the very end. So it's an interesting concept because even back then we were intrigued on who is she going to pick or who is he going to pick. And it's really evolved tremendously since then. So even back then we've been nosy. We've been nosy ever since.
And I feel like that type of TV show could be actually very popular in this time period too.
Right.
Because it's basically like a person sitting next to a wall where you talk to the other people. Where you talk to like a woman or a man and be like, which is your favorite color?
And that's one of the hardest things I feel like people nowadays have lost, that sense of conversation. It's more of we're so used to image, we're so used to pictures, we're so used to visual that conversation has been lost in these years, I feel like. And so that's why I guess Love is Blind. Love is Blind is so intriguing, and it just reminds me, this dating game show, of that same concept.
The next big TV show is called Blind Date, and it was super big in the UK, where it had the same format as the dating game, but they were actually going into real dates. So we're starting to see like the real thing, kind of like The Bachelor we see these days, where they actually go and experience a date together, but it's blind. So you don't know who are you going to meet.
So it kind of sounds like I don't want to use the word, the evolution of reality shows, in particular with love, started out as less superficial. It sounds like it was hearing someone's voice, asking them questions, then agreeing to go on a date with them without first knowing what they looked like. But it's interesting to see how that's changed over time. Like, yes, we have Love is Blind now, but we also have shows where it's, it is very appearance based. Like, I have to assume that a lot of the people on these love reality shows are choosing people based off of how attractive they look, and they're not really getting to have much time, at least not that we're seeing an edited version of them actually having like conversations.
Getting
Right.
to know
So
this
that's
person.
interesting to me.
Right.
At the same time, I don't know if it's even like I forgot the word, like seeing people and you liking how they look like. I think in this damn age, it's a little bit more about how famous can I get,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Because
That reminds me of like the intentions of getting with this person, you know, like, oh, is this, how many followers does this person have? What does this person do for a living? Where in society, you know, is this person involved with? And that kind of just, it's like a full circle, you know, it's more than just appearance. It's what can I get out of this person so it benefits me?
Right.
So it's very twisted.
Well, and there's like a lot of the shows about like marry a millionaire or like I think for the longest time they didn't really advertise on the Bachelor and Bachelorette that the like whoever was the Bachelor or Bachelorette, don't they get like $100,000 or something?
yes.
Right.
And of course, like they don't tell people watching that.
Yeah. Before we go there,
Okay.
there is around 750 unscripted series.
That's ridiculous.
So like that could be, you know, like I don't know, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It could be Survivor. It could be
Wait, right? Remind me one more time what's unscripted.
like people are no like there is no writers. So there is no people telling you the story by like dialogue, how a
Right.
series will do.
Yeah.
Right.
So they are unscripted, which a lot of people could say that it's fake. Like some of those shows could
And
be
I'm one
fake
of
and
those
could be
people.
scripted.
Same.
I'm one of those people. You see these things unfold unscripted, and you're like, how in the world is this
Yeah.
unscripted? It's just so intense and so dramatic. And
Yeah.
that I am one of those people.
Yes, and I understand you. So this is kind of like, how can we talk about this? The thing that what they say on a script is like, people are not writing you what to say. People are not telling you you have to say that, but they are kind of putting you in situations where you kind of are pushed to say those type of things.
True.
You know what I
True.
mean?
True.
And like at
True.
the same time, this is kind of like a bigger debate because are they really unscripted? And by unscripted, I mean is if you have a camera in front of you, you know you're filming.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna add a certain way. You're gonna have certain behavior. Not
Exactly.
like how you will have it if you didn't have a camera.
Right. Right. You
So-
gotta be prepared.
Exactly.
They also know who to put on the show that's going to be either someone who like, you know, like make loves to the camera or they are dramatic or
Someone that's
maybe
gonna
they
carry
can
the
tell
show.
someone is off their meds or, you know, like they're like maybe it's not that lines are being written for them, but they just know, hey, this person in their application said that they have dated a different girl every day for the last 50 days in a row.
Yeah.
Or this
Right.
person
Yeah.
like is like, I can't handle being alone and I like to dress up like a dolphin or whatever it is. They're like, okay, this person is great on TV.
someone that can carry the show.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And ultimately give the show good rankings.
Rankings,
So-
views.
Yeah, I mean that's what they care. They don't care about who finds love truly.
No.
Like that's their last thing they want.
Yeah.
No.
But it
No.
also, and this is going off topic, but it also makes you wonder if the people signing up for the show really ask themselves, what is this going to do to me long term? Because we are really living in a world where it's like once we put something out there, it's out there. So
There's no
you
turning
know,
back.
we might get onto this show and we might be sort of pitted as the drama queen or the person who nobody likes. You know, there's always that one person that like gets scapegoated as like the bad guy or the bad girl, and they're probably not thinking long term like, hey, this could really ruin my like reputation, my career.
Oh yes.
Like
oh yes.
all sorts
and
of
we've
things.
seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
But I feel like it only applies to now, not back then. Because back then you didn't have social media, you didn't have these outlets where you were going to
True.
be found.
Right.
Like
Right.
right now with social media, yes, if you are the bad person, you're either gonna become extremely huge famous or you're gonna be somebody that people are gonna bully you forever.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
you
true.
can become like the most hated guy or girl in the world. I
Yes.
mean, it's kind of
Yes, you
scary.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like also brings at this topic. If you go into these shows or like you're planning on going, these
Yeah.
are the shows where you have the most success of finding love.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's go through the list.
Okay.
The least likely for you to find somebody to love is Too Hot to Handle.
Too hot to
No
handle.
shit, Sherlock.
So,
I'm shocked.
Really?
so
Oh, you're joking.
yeah. So out of the couples that started versus the couple, there is 4 couples that have started and still kind of dating,
Right.
but like the rest,
Okay.
no. So you're not gonna find your partner, and this is about people who got married.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
You
They
know?
went the whole 9.
So Too Hot to Handle,
No.
you're not gonna find love.
Okay.
You're gonna be really famous.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Okay. Okay.
The next one is Love Island, USA. Also has a 0% chance.
Okay. 0%?
0% chance for you to
That's
find
not
love.
even-
It's like you have a better
Tropical-
chance of dating the crab on the beach. then.
Yes.
Not even on a tropical island can help you.
Yes. The next one is called Naked Attraction. I have never seen about this
No,
one.
I've never
I've
heard
never
this
even
one.
heard of it.
Never heard
No.
You
this.
have a 1.2% of finding love. It's pretty interesting.
Better than the one before.
Yes. This one. The next one is called First Dates UK.
Oh, okay.
First
You have
date.
1.3% too.
Jeez.
I have never seen this one either,
No,
but
never
we are
heard
not
of
from the
it.
UK, so it makes
Sadly.
a little bit
Wow.
of sense. The next one is kind of shocking. The Bachelor,
Wow.
right?
I mean, it's
Wow.
shocking and it's not.
Yes, but 4%. But I think what I mean, I think it's probably 4% because it has such a longevity. Like it's been on for
Yeah.
almost
I was
15,
just gonna
20
say
years.
that. I was just gonna say that.
So the success rate kind of like shores.
yeah.
But
True. True. True.
next one is called Marry at First Sight, Australia.
Marry at first sight.
And this one has a 5% chance for you to find
To
love.
me, that's bonkers that has a higher success rate because, like, you're literally marrying someone.
At the first sight.
Like, it would be like if I
Literally.
open the door and I marry you.
Yes.
And the
Wow.
people in the
Right.
Bachelor and Bachelorette, like,
Maybe-
they supposedly have some
Maybe that's
conversation.
They
maybe
date
that's
for
why
6
they
weeks.
have a higher percentage. They don't have a choice but to marry that person right in front
I
of them.
mean, I guess.
But it's also a 5% chance. So that's nothing.
No.
True. True.
Like you have 95% of failing.
True.
Like
True.
that's way too high. Next one is also Marry at First Sight, but the UK. The
Okay,
UK
the
version.
UK one.
Which is 7%. So at least you have 2% more.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now we have Love Island, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
You have 8%. Still too bad.
Yeah.
Next one again, Love Island, UK. And this one has a 23% chance.
Oh.
So at least
That's a
we are a quarter now.
That's a
Yeah.
jump. That's a
So
jump.
is it just that maybe society in UK trains people how to be more loyal or something, or like stick it out for the long haul?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like also these shows change through time.
Yeah.
And I feel like it becomes people that already know each other because I have seen in Love Island UK, I think sometimes people who are from other realities, they go into the Love Island.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
But
Okay. Interesting.
so maybe they know each other a little bit more, but I don't know that much.
Oh.
That's very interesting.
Okay, let's go for the next one.
Yeah.
The Bachelorette
Oh. Wow.
has a 29% of you finding love. That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
also-
it's crazy. That
It's
is
also
so much higher.
22% higher than The Bachelor.
yeah.
I think it's because The Bachelorette actually has 3 married couples
Oh.
who are still together.
Okay.
The Bachelor, I think he only has 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
It has the race car driver. What's his name? But I don't know if that counts because he broke up
broke
with the
up with
girl
her,
and
so
went
it
to the
doesn't
second
count.
runner up.
I think it was only one that actually.
Wow.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Marry at First Sight, USA,
Oh my goodness.
30%,
Oh my goodness.
which I mean is
It's
crazy.
insane. And
Now we're gonna hit the half mark.
okay.
Love is Blind, 50% for
Love
you
is
to
Blind.
find
That one
love.
doesn't surprise me,
It doesn't
actually.
surprise me.
No, you're right.
It doesn't surprise me.
But I think it's what we just said at the beginning of the
Exactly.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
They have that emotional connection
Yeah.
because they are not basing it just out of looks.
Yeah.
You know, when all you have to do is talk, you get to know a person real well
Yep.
after a while.
And I think emotional connection is becoming more sexy. Like
Yes.
people are like it because they're so starved for emotional connection that it's actually becoming more high demand than like
Yeah.
having great sex or something.
Yes, they're
It's
yeah.
sad because it should be the normal. It
Yeah.
should be
I
the
Yes.
know.
It should.
I
It should
agree.
just be
Should.
normal.
Like you should
want
try to
that.
find somebody that challenges you emotionally, not only like
Yeah.
sexually.
Exactly.
Like both. Like
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
A balance of both.
But the number one, so if you really want to find love, is 90 Days Fiance.
No.
Wait, okay, I don't know this one very well. Is this the one where
that's going to give
Explain
you a
this one.
citizenship?
Just let me explain this one. So
Not that show.
this one is a 75% chance of you finding love.
wow.
I would have never thought.
So out of 38
Anything for los
contestants,
papeles.
Out of 37 contestants,
Yeah.
28 are married.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. That show.
Wait,
is
okay, so
just
369. So
insane.
you spent 3 months with a random person that's your fiance, and then you marry
No,
them?
no, no.
Or
So,
what is
so
it?
let me explain this one a little bit better, and this is why they have the higher success rate. So, this one is about people so Americans who meet people outside the U.S. So they already know the person.
No naked. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yes, so it's somebody that you already know. So you probably have been dating the person for a month, for a year, for 2 years, 3. So you have met that person before. So you already have an emotional connection.
Yeah.
It's
And-
true.
So what they go in is they come here and they get a K1 visa. That is a marriage thing where you have to marry that person in 90 days.
Right.
If not, you get deported.
Yes.
So that's how
Wow.
this show
it
works.
kind of what makes you wonder though if people are like, oh, are you just marrying me for like a visa or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do marry for visas. It's very common in the show. I think I would probably say 0.5% of the people are marrying for visas.
Yeah.
Easily. And no
Yeah.
one can tell me otherwise.
Yes, and the
Forget
thing,
it.
yes, 0.5% of that, and you know why they still marry? Because for you to be able to become a citizen or like have a permanent residency, you have to stay with the person for at least 3 to 4 years.
So you have to look at that statistic with a grain of salt because it doesn't mean they're staying together necessarily because they love
you.
each other.
Ding, ding,
So
ding,
I
ding.
think we
ding,
should go
ding.
off the second to the last one.
I mean, yeah, but
As the highest
statistically
Yeah.
of the shows, like if you go to a TV show, you're gonna find the person you're gonna marry.
Notice how Marrying Millions and The Ultimatum aren't on the list at all. They're probably like negative relationships worked.
I think it's because those ones are not that, how to say, now. Like there is not that many right now
Yeah,
that are
maybe.
trending.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it.
Because at the same time, with the social media, you don't want to be known as the gold digger.
Right.
I feel like there's still a lot of girls who
Oh
don't
no,
care.
of course. Yeah, I think it depends of who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Well,
It
that
is
was really fascinating.
It is pretty fascinating.
That was really cool. That was really cool.
Was there anything else, Gus, that you were wanting to add to that?
I wanted to add a little bit. You talk about money and how I feel like let's go into like, do you believe these relationships are real or fake in some of these shows? What are you thinking, Amy? I see you thinking like
Her brain is
I don't
fired
know,
on
it's
this
like
one.
50-50. 50-50. I feel like some relationships are real, and I feel like some relationships are fake. At the end of the day, do anything for clout, right? That's just how I feel. But like if you're having a problem with your partner, will you go on a show to try and fix it? Like, really? It goes down to that. You know what I mean?
I feel like nowadays, if you're going on a dating show, you're just trying to get more Instagram followers. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I feel like it's just a social media, a entrepreneur, a networking move for you, if you're into that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people that genuinely want to find someone to love, but I wouldn't look into a dating show for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That wouldn't be my first option. I don't know.
And I think anybody who says like, oh, like I haven't had luck in my normal life finding a relationship, so I'm going to have better luck going on a dating show. Well, as our statistics just proved, you know, most of these are like a 1 to 5% average. So I think you might have better luck, you know, going to the local bar and finding love.
Yes.
True. It's honestly
Hit your
true. Yeah.
local Safeway. I don't know. Pass
Yeah.
by the freezer aisle. I don't know.
But I do think
Don't know.
it has really changed so much because I think when, you know, that first reality show came out that you mentioned, that like we still can relate, I think, on a certain level to current love reality shows out there to a certain extent, but they've become so out of this world. Like the dates are crazy, the people look insane, the amount of money that is going into these
Right.
shows is super unrealistic. So instead
Yes.
of actually feeling realistic, it feels like it could never happen to you. And so I think that's the difference as opposed to when it first came out. I think people watching those shows were like, I could see myself here. I could totally picture this.
It doesn't feel relatable. It doesn't feel like you're looking at that person and like, oh, I see me doing that, or I see myself doing that in my life. It just doesn't look relatable. It doesn't look like you're gonna do that in real life.
So it's like come full circle, because I think when people first started going to the movies and watching TV, it was like this mind blowing thing, because it was like these people that they could never be, like these out of touch, like glamorous Hollywood stars.
Right.
And then it was
Right.
suddenly like you turn on your TV and you see someone who's exactly like you. And now it's like going back to the like, that could never be me.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah, they are too fantastical, but and then it involves too much money and too much clout, like fame.
Yeah.
Because I think The Bachelor and The Bachelorette would have a way higher success rate of finding love. Sorry, I keep bringing that one up. I think it's just the one I've seen the most. But I think once it turned into social media and it turned into like you can get ads, you can have all these people sponsoring you, you can be in movies, you can like
Literally
you're gonna
be in
hang out with
everything.
famous people. Like it totally changed to the point where now people just lie, I think, about being there for love, and it's just for fame.
Exactly,
No.
exactly,
Facts.
exactly. I agree. I
Facts.
agree.
So on that note, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the money. So you just talk about The Bachelor. So in The Bachelor or Bachelorette, they get around $100,000 for filming the show.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money
That's a
for
lot
you
of money.
just to finding love, going in all these amazing days. Like this person is, if you're The Bachelor, you have it made.
Yeah,
And more these
exactly.
days because we've been talking about like getting famous. So
Yeah,
The Bachelor most likely is going to become famous and have a career after that.
Right,
Exactly.
right. So 2 for 1.
The contestants on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, on the other side, they don't get anything. Like the contestants get nothing. They actually have to pay all the dresses and everything to.
Oh, right.
I've heard of people like going bankrupt and like, you know,
What?
like a lot of them lose their jobs to
Jobs.
do it. And then they're like, you know, buying that many evening gowns. Like all of us girls know buying a beautiful dress is like $300 or more.
Right.
Yeah, they
So-
take time from their 9 to 5 to do this. Like they go all out.
And
for
like you don't
this.
want to be one
have
upped
to
by the
invest.
other girls there. And so it's like you have to buy swimsuits, you have to buy
Yeah.
summer clothes, you have to buy
Everything.
winter
Invest.
clothes, all the
Yeah.
dresses, get your hair done, get your boob job, get you know, like
Nails done, everything.
Yeah.
So which is kind of funny. Bachelor in Paradise actually pays between $7,000 and $15,000.
Oh.
Which is kind of funny that the
That's not
Bachelor.
that much.
No, but compared to you don't getting anything,
A cent. Yeah.
getting 7,000 to 15K
Yeah.
just to go to Bachelor in Paradise and have fun for a week.
Hey,
yeah.
I'll
that's
take
a cool
that.
vacation.
So-
That's a cool vacation.
yes.
It's
That's a
like
cool
you're
vacation.
paying
It's
to
a
do
pay-
it on the other one.
Yes.
Right.
And you're paying a lot. And no wonder they're crying all the time. Like they
Yes.
lost their jobs, they're bankrupt, they're hungry AF. Like
hangover.
they're drinking
Hangover.
so much on empty stomachs. Like I would cry too. Their fake eyelashes are poking them in the eye. Like I would be so miserable.
They don't
Like
know if they're
I
gonna
would be
make
like,
it to the
someone
next
give me a
round."
Big Mac
It's
and a
just so
nap.
much.
Like
Yes.
It's a lot bigger than bathing suit on national TV.
But-
yeah, it's a lot.
But if you're really looking for love, you know which show you have to go, right? The 90 Day Fiancé.
then I dated
Fiancé.
fiance, right,
Yeah.
right.
This one
that
pays.
one's boring to me.
Yes, but at least you're gonna find love and you're gonna get paid for it. So
True.
before the 90 days, you get paid between $5,000 and $1,000 per episode.
Whoa.
So if you are in 12 episodes, you have some good money, 10K.
Yeah.
If and after that, you get $1,000 to $1,500 per episode. So
Okay.
you could get
Okay.
pretty good money
Right. Right.
Wow.
by getting money. So it's 90 days.
True.
If you get 15, 20 episodes, you
doing
get
good.
love and you get paid.
Right.
It's pretty good for this. And it depends on the network, but some networks can even pay depending on the budget.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I was
Okay.
looking at it, and even for example, like teen moms,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
they get paid 60K per season.
Yeah.
Oh.
Depending
yeah.
60 to 65K per season.
Yeah.
Which for a teen mom is actually pretty good.
It's very beneficial.
But at the same time, I feel like I don't know how much it comes to. I know this is not love, but it's like to put yourself into those TV shows as a teen mom.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, it's a very vulnerable
It's,
position to
yes.
be in.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah.
they should get paid a little bit more just
Right.
because
Yeah.
they are putting
Your whole life and your
Yes.
child.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
still pretty good
True.
to.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
I was trying to figure out how much like the shows themselves make though,
Make.
because if you think about it, a paltry 10,000
Oh.
is nothing. Like, I mean, the show like per episode is probably just like astronomical. That's why it's almost laughable.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Compared
Right.
to what they actually make, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes we see these TV shows and like these movies or all these things, and they seen 200 million, 150 million to be make, and all of that. But it's like just renting a camera, a good camera,
Yeah.
costs around $15,000 to $20,000
Right.
Exactly.
per day.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so like if when you put all of that cost, all of the filming crew, the audio, the editing, the catering, all of the producers, it adds up.
It adds up.
It does.
Plus,
Easily.
you have to have insurance. You have to have permissions. It's
True.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of things. So
Yeah.
when you look at all of the costs like that, it makes sense why they cannot just. I'm gonna give you $1 million for being on the show,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
unless you bring that $1 million.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
It's just, it's tough. It's tough in that situation. Do you guys want to know some shows that we have forgotten about?
Yes, please. Go for
Tell
it.
us.
Or some of them I don't even know.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just start with this one. This one is called Single Out.
Single out.
Single out.
Interesting.
It was MTV's first dating show.
Oh.
But did you know what I was interesting about it?
What?
Jenny McCarthy was the host.
Yeah.
We love
I
Miss
feel like I
Jenny.
vaguely remember this in the recesses of my mind as like a little kid, like walking by a TV, and I'm like, like I don't even know.
And Carmen Electra was the second host.
Okay, they picked some hotties to be
Yes.
there.
That's cool. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
This one is also MTV Dismiss.
Oh, I feel like I
Dismiss.
remember this one too.
I feel like I don't.
I don't know. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like just the name
2001.
itself.
You were not born.
Like,
I was
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
One that I was very surprised to be here, it was Next. I don't know if you guys ever watched Next. I remember
Next.
it was pretty big in Colombia.
Next.
Next. No, I don't
Which
know
is kind of
next.
funny because they be in this huge bus and you see the people coming out. I'm Ashley and I'm this. You
oh,
know?
thanks for using my name. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, baby.
Me and the rest of the world named Ashley. Yeah.
It was a pretty fun show, and you will see like how like.
But
n-
that sounds like
next.
very superficial because like they would just walk
Yes.
out and the person would be like, next.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that's so messed up.
It's kind of like Tinder.
Yeah, you're
swipe,
right.
swipe.
It is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And one that it was pretty interesting for me is A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch this?
I did. I watched it at
heard
my
of
best
it and
friend's
I've
house.
never
I wasn't
watched
allowed to watch that one at my house because it was too risque.
I've heard of
but
this
I
one.
saw it
It's
at other people's
pretty
houses.
risque. And it's kind
Rival.
of funny because I remember myself watching it also in Colombia, of course, with subtitles and things. And I liked it because I was a teenage boy, watching all these people make cow and
Well, and
being
it
in
was
hot
like Tila
tubs.
Tequila, and she was like kind of, like a swimsuit.
She wasn't pretty. Like,
She was kind of porn star looking.
But
Yes,
in that
yes.
time, she was famous.
she was super famous, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
She became famous first on Flavor of Love with Flava Flav.
Oh,
I think he didn't pick her or something at the end. I'm trying to remember.
and she got this TV
And then
show.
she got that afterwards because she was like the fan favorite or something, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
And she became
But
famous.
this was the first NTV show who was spotlighting lesbians and LGBTQ plus community.
Okay. Okay.
Which I don't think it got great things because of the time period and people,
Yeah.
And
I
also-
remember it was very sexualized. Like, I
was,
feel
yeah.
like they weren't doing it to actually spotlight those types of relationships. I felt like it was more like, and now two hot girls are going to make out and everyone's going to be turned on. Like, that's kind of how it felt
Right.
from what I
Okay.
remember.
Yes.
But I could be wrong.
No, it was crazy. She wasn't the best. I don't know. I feel like the TV show was very rushy.
Oh, okay.
But oh yes, it was. I think the thing was like she was finding love, and it didn't matter if it was a gay and if it was a guy or a girl.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So for 2007 it was this.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
so-
true. That's true.
It's kind of like putting yourself up there.
Yeah.
But this is one of the craziest things that happened, and I didn't know. I just find out, and is that she picked this guy. They didn't end up together, right? Something about MySpace. Like,
Wow. We're going back in time now.
Yes.
We're really going back in time.
So like I guess she never contacted him or something. Like they never did anything.
Okay.
But what I didn't know is that she kind of like killed her career because she was expressing support to Adolf Hitler.
Oh my God!
Whoa,
Why?
That just went from
South,
0 to 100.
right?
That just went
Yeah.
what?
So that's why she lost her career.
Oh wow.
And I feel like
rightfully so.
I mean, yes, for
wasn't
sure.
she Asian American?
Yes.
So for her to be like in love with Adolf Hitler is kind
Makes
of
zero sense.
That's
weird.
Yo, that's
She sounds like she went
twisted.
mentally.
Yeah.
Yo, that's twisted.
mentally
Super
something.
twisting.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
we hope that she found
Love. With
love
Tila Tequila.
without Adolf Hitler.
Oh dear.
Do we want to talk about the psychology behind all these TV shows and why do we like them?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Yes,
So that's kind of like what got us intrigued to do this podcast in the first place. It's just the strange psychology behind why people like us and not like us love watching reality shows. Like despite the cringe factor, like we've brought up a lot of things like that make us cringe.
Right.
So according to clinical psychologist Dr. Janice Scrivani, the main reasons people love to watch reality TV is actually empathy. And I'm going to read a quote that she had where she kind of explained it. So reality television in particular gives us a false sense that we really know the people we see on the screen.
Yes.
This sense of having a personal relationship is amplified with the reality label, even though we are aware that it is greatly exaggerated. Close ties between family and friends are at all-time lows, like right now in the world.
Yeah.
Over time, we come to see the folks portrayed on the screen as friends. We identify with their struggles and triumphs. It's much less time consuming to take in a half an hour television show than to connect with a friend in real life.
Wow.
And so that's a little bit of that part of the psychology. But and then there's been other psychologists that have said the less connected you feel to people in your life, the more you might be drawn to the drama of relationships and reality shows.
I've read also that we live viciously through these experiences of reality TV series from the safety of our own homes. We don't actually have to risk our heart or our reputation when we live through these experiences of the reality show participants. So it's like they're doing the trial for you. You know, you watch them, they're like, oh, you watch them so to be like, oh, how would that play out on me? And I think that's the intriguing side. It's reality TV. You feel like you can connect to this person because they're not a celebrity per se. They're just a regular person, and they're just sharing their life. And they talk like you and I, and they're making the same decisions or mistakes that you would in your life, and you get to see it on TV. So I guess that's the part where we can, I guess, connect in a way with these shows or make them so intriguing.
And I think it's also just like a type of escapism, voyeurism, not having to get our heart broken and dragged through the dirt, but yet like we all can commiserate about love. So like there's that connection.
Yeah.
There is two things that I found too. Is that they can also be as dramatic as soap operas. Like they
Right.
So having that connection to like regular TV that you've been watching forever makes you even more connected to them. Because you are like, oh, this is gonna be so dramatic. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
You know? Which is kind of funny. The other thing that I didn't know is that it kind of is like a sport too, where you can pick sides. You know, because when you're watching the TV shows,
That's so
Yes.
you
true.
became
So
like,
true.
I love this guy.
I'm on
I
her
hate
side.
her.
I'm on
Yes.
his side.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
easy to get into
Yeah.
that.
That ties
too.
into like what I was gonna end with too, is just on the flip side of that study that the psychologist was doing, they also found like it was pretty 50-50. Like half of the reason people are into it is for empathy, but the other half is for embarrassment. And just like what you were saying, humans, sometimes we can't even explain why I like this person, why I don't like this person. It's kind of like when you see a dog walking down the street and they hate some other dogs just for no apparent reason. And then other dogs are like, yes, I love you. Let me lick you. Like, sniff your butt, whatever. And I feel like humans are like that too. So same thing when we were watching these reality shows. So it's like half of the time it's like, oh, we feel so bad for them. We sympathize with them. We totally get what their trial or tribulation could be. And then on the other flip side, we just like almost enjoy like the person or people we don't like, and we just like fixate on them being publicly shamed or embarrassed, which is kind of sad for humans. But
I can't help but to think, while we're on this topic, is why reality TV love shows, why they create. I mean, do you think, this is actually a question, do you think they create a false narrative, an unrealistic idea of what a love, of a relationship, a partnership should look like?
1000%.
Can you please share your ideas with us about that?
I definitely do.
I feel like we're starting with the dates.
Okay.
You know, like as a normal human, let's say an average person who makes, I don't know, $40,000 a year. I'm just saying a random number.
Yeah.
You are not going to go into like a balloon globe and then landing in a perfect restaurant in the middle of nowhere with champagne and everything. Just with
And a
that.
man-made like hot tub.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like that's not gonna happen in your regular life.
Right.
That could happen like if you are proposing to somebody,
Right.
but that's
right.
once or maybe twice, 3 times in a lifetime. It should be more often.
Yeah.
I feel like to keep that romanticism and to
Right.
keep that love.
Right.
But to be honest, that's not gonna happen. But at the same time, you don't know. You have jobs, you have things to do. So just by the date, it
Right.
became so unreal.
Right. I
Like,
agree.
you
I
know?
agree.
Just starting off with that.
Yes.
I agree.
Or just like the plethora of options that a lot of these shows give you. Like instead of like having to work it out with 1 or 2 people, you have 25 other girls who are there. If one girl or guy says something that slightly ticks you off, you're like, well, off with their heads. I've got these 19 other people that I can go
Exactly.
for. And so it doesn't really teach you like how to communicate or work through any kind of
Right.
tough
Fix
situations.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
There was a show, I lost it, but there was a show that had over 50 people. 50 people for you today.
I would need like an earpiece telling me their
No.
names. Like, what's this
I know.
person's
They're like,
name?
who are you?
Like,
I don't remember you.
No.
Yeah, it was hilarious because when I was reading it, it says like, yes, this is not a typo. It was
That's
insane.
insane.
It's hard for me to see these shows and be like, I'm going to base my decisions and my life through because so and so did it on the show with so and so. Like, what makes you think that your partner's going to respond the same way that Brad on TV responded, or
Yes.
what makes you think? What makes you think your answers are on these shows? Like it. I don't think people should base them as examples for themselves. I don't think
but
that
I
should
think
be.
a lot of people
Do.
do.
And I
that's
don't think,
sad.
that's the part for me, or I'm like, I don't find the logic behind that. Why would anyone base their decisions because
I have
so
a
and
perfect
so did?
example
Yes, you do.
of this. I was reading.
Perfect. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
I was reading Carlos Acosta autobiography. It's extremely good. I highly recommend it. If you don't know who he is, famous
Most famous ballet dancer.
from Cuba.
Yes, I will
And-
say if he wasn't black, he would be more famous than Baryshnikov.
So, but in his book, he talks about he wants to propose to the love of his life. So he stresses out and puts quite a bit of time into it. He takes her to Paris and he proposes to her at the Eiffel Tower. He does say in the book that when he knelt down in front of hundreds of people that are at the Eiffel Tower every day, that he kept his thing pretty simple. He was like, I love you. Will you marry me? And like he literally wrote in the book, like, this is what I had seen hundreds of times in movies and books and TV
Right.
shows.
Right,
So I
right.
thought like I was doing one of the most romantic things. And like if we think about movies and wedding proposals and TV shows and reality shows, a lot of times people are proposing at the Eiffel Tower, like in Paris. And it is considered like the epitome of romance. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I guess the girl, she does accept. She says yes, but she seems like really sad and doesn't really say much else. And then he's left feeling really kind of depressed. Like that's not the reaction I was expecting. Like
Right.
he doesn't really say much to her. He just keeps it to himself. And then they go out later that night and she just bursts out crying. And he's like, what is wrong? And she's like, that wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like this really magical, over the top romantic thing. Like I thought that you were going to like do it privately, not in front of people, and like put my ring into a glass of champagne and give
it
me
just
like
goes
this
to
poem.
show.
And I was like, how? I was like, he did the most romantic, like one of them.
Yeah, and it just goes to show not everyone responds in the same way, or everyone feels in the same way, or everyone looks at things the same way. What works in one relationship probably doesn't even apply to your
And they
relationship
were
in whatsoever.
both basing it off of stuff that they had seen in
Seen.
movies and
Right.
TV
Right.
and books. And they both thought the other thing was the most romantic. And at the end of the day, shouldn't it just be like, if you love the person, like,
That's
It
it.
shouldn't
it.
matter how it was done.
That's it. No matter how many TV shows you watch on this subject, how many books you read on this subject, your personal love experience is yours to write, yours to make, and it's unique.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
your
don't,
story.
and I
Yes.
just don't think you're gonna find it on a reality TV show.
Totally.
What
And
were
I
you
know-
gonna say? Something?
Yeah. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. Okay.
There was one more thing I want to say. This is kind of like in the reverse, but something that's always bugged me about a lot of these love reality shows is how they say, if we bungee jump off the side of this bridge or we go skydiving,
That means
it's
you
gonna-
trust me.
It means that like we can tackle any
anything in life.
terrible
I
thing
love
that
those.
happens to us. I was like, are you smoking crack cocaine?
love those.
Because
I love those. I love those.
in no way, shape, or form is doing like a thrill, like adrenaline
This
junkie
means
thing,
there's
a
trust.
test of a relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
no.
those tests, they're hilarious. They're hilarious.
I
because
wouldn't want to go skydiving with my sister, but does that mean I can't,
can't trust
like
her or whatever.
like go through the world's challenging thing together? Like I don't even know. It's just
exactly.
such a dumb.
It's such a silly.
And then
silly
like if the
test.
other person's like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do it, they're like, well, you must not be the right person
Right,
to
you're
love
not the
for
one
me.
for me.
Like, are you crazy?
right.
Anyways, that's just
No.
always bothered me.
Same.
Do you guys want to go into? I think Emmy had the 10 best realities.
Yes, I have actually the 8.
The 8.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see what are the best realities.
So we have coming in at number 8, F Boy Island.
F-Boy Island. I mean, it's pretty good show.
It's-
2021.
I can see why it's ranked that high.
Can you
I
just
can see.
imagine your parents be like, what are you going to watch tonight? And you're like, oh,
F Island.
I'm going to watch F-Boy Island, Mom.
Actually, fun fact, my mom did ask one night, and I told her, and she was like, goodbye. I'm done.
Good response.
Yeah.
And at number 7, we have Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast. I
I've
think.
never watched this one.
I don't know. Is
Haven't
this
heard
like
of it.
people actually wear masks and things like that?
I've never watched this one.
That is awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like The Masked Singer meets like love.
With love, yes.
It's weird.
At number 6, we have Too Hot to Handle.
Too hard to handle. It's
Wait, are
entertaining.
these, when you say like the best shows, is this just like the most watched reality shows?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
It's-
rating.
and it's people like
ones.
people rating them like
Yeah.
what people say is the shows they will watch.
Number 5, we have Married at First Sight.
This one is good,
I
but
didn't
it's
really
a,
watch a lot of this one,
No?
so I wouldn't know.
it's a little bit weird because you know as the name says,
just a title.
marry at first sight. Like, so literally, like the first time you meet him is when you are at the altar.
I can't
But-
can't imagine.
And you don't know like anything about them?
No, you don't know anything
Oh.
about. So you literally gonna marry. So you say yes or no, and after you say yes, you work it out backwards. So you already married.
Yeah.
So I think you go into a honeymoon and then you go into your house, and after the period of time, you can get divorced.
Yeah,
So-
because I don't think they do the like what is it called when you have like a civil ceremony? They don't do it like quite legally
Oh, okay,
all the way. I
okay,
don't
okay.
think.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they-
Okay.
yeah.
Like you know how you have
Can
to
you
go to
imagine?
like the court
I'd rather be
house. Like
single forever.
I think that you can like I think you have like somebody officiate a ceremony, but I don't
It's
know if you
not-
sign the marriage
Okay,
certificate that's
okay.
like official
Okay,
because
okay.
like that would just be
That
crazy.
would just
That's
be just
insane.
a crime.
At number 4, we have Temptation Island.
Temptation Island.
Temptation.
I didn't know this. Temptation Island it actually was made in 2000.
Mm.
So there was a first season. It was also made by Fox, I think. It started in 2000, has 7 seasons. Then they stopped it and they remake it now in I think 2017 when they restarted again. And now we are 4 seasons in.
Interesting.
I wonder if you put the host of Temptation Island as the host of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, if those people would have better success.
Yes. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Temptation Island, Mark Wahlberg is the host.
Not the actor, guys. Don't
Yes.
get confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's say Mark J. Wahlberg. So
Yes.
then we actually
Right.
Perfect.
he actually is so good at talking to them, and actually it seems genuine that he wants the best for the contestants.
Yes.
It doesn't seem fake. It doesn't seem like he's just there to tell you, yes, honey, you're gonna find love.
Scripted.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, he's so good that I actually like Googled to see if he was a licensed therapist because he's so good
He's
at
very
giving
good.
relationship advice.
There's something about him that makes me feel so calm when I
Yeah.
watch him speak. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just feel calm. He's just very understanding in all those situations, all those awkward, terrible, heartbreaking situations.
He always knows what to say.
And he's
like, the
very
correct thing
comforting.
to
And he's
say.
very
Yeah,
comforting. And
yeah.
like you said, he's very supportive of each person's decision, whether that be the right decision or the wrong
Or the bad
decision.
decision.
He's there. He's just amazing.
yes.
Guy's amazing.
All right, at number 3 we have Dating Around.
Dating around. I don't know that
I've
one.
never heard of this one.
It sounds like
Dating
going around the
around.
world and just dating.
Yes. I don't know that
Maybe.
one.
I don't know what it is.
At number 2 we have Bachelor in Paradise.
I think it's because it's more drama.
Yes.
There's so much going
So
on
much
in that
going
island. Crazy.
So much. And at number 1 we have First Dates, which I've never watched.
First days.
First dates.
Oh, this is the UK version.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about because I was looking a little bit of this.
Okay.
I have seen this, and I think it's people just go into a restaurant
Uh-huh.
and they like see somebody sits down and it's like, this is your day. It's kind of like a blind date.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's the
Okay.
first time they meet each other, and
Okay.
then I think you go and talk to a psychologist or somebody, and then you see like if you really want to keep going or not. I think so. I could be wrong.
Well, that's at number 1. So
Yeah.
I wonder if they have
Wow.
a reality dating show where it's like the parents like date each other, like not as
Yes,
like
yes.
in actually date each other, but like you only meet the parents, you don't get to meet the people
Oh.
actually. So it's like you're basing who
You're
you pick
dating.
off of their parents. That would be funny,
Oh, that'd
but
be really
but bad. I wouldn't do well on
I mean,
Whoa.
I mean, they might, but there is definitely a show that is called Dating Moms or Dating Fathers, something like that,
Okay.
Okay.
where it's actually your father is the one who go on dates. So like your parents,
So they pick out your.
your
They
parents.
pick
go-
out the
partner.
people for you.
Yes,
Wow.
I don't know how it's called. I
Wow.
lost it. Let me see.
Wow.
Okay, I thought I was like being a genius, but I guess I'm
No,
not.
like no. I mean, I don't know if we have said it.
I think it would be a terrible idea.
We did it at the beginning, but there is over 100.
it's called My Mom, Your Dad.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds gross, but
You can take that out
Like,
of context.
I mean, let me just tell you, there is over 145 dating shows.
Right.
Like you can go from 3, I don't know what that means. I mean probably threesomes, to the Fifth Wheel, Labor of Love, Bachelor, Baggage, Blind Dates, Bridezillas, Britney and Kevin, Can I Get a Date, Daisy Love, Dating My Ex. It's like I could be here all day naming all those
I
shows.
suppose you could get philosophical and almost look at this like, have we as humans really come that far from like a really like traditional and archaic way of finding love? Like some of it is very like new age, you know, like because it's like marry someone you never seen, but at the same time that's almost like ancient history, you know, like there's a lot of cultures that actually do
Did that.
like arranged
Right.
marriages or you
Right.
don't really get to have a relationship.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of these reality love shows are usually probably between mostly heterosexual couples, so that's not really that like new thinking or like, so it's kind of weird that like we're living in a society where outside of the reality television people are really like encouraging non-traditional love relationships, but then like if you turn on the TV
You don't really see it.
it's not really, it doesn't seem like things have come that far.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's very true.
Maybe those shows are not mainstream.
Yeah, maybe,
You know?
but like
Maybe.
shouldn't they be?
Yes. I mean,
Or
again,
I don't know.
the only mainstream that is actually recorded is called Boy Meets Boy, which is the only mainstream TV show which actually is about gay people.
Yeah. And but that's and if I'm not mistaken, 2003. That was a long time ago. It was just 6 episodes.
And even just like, even with the heterosexual ones, like it's usually the guy that's in like the position of power.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Right.
drifting away from that. But like, I
Yeah.
mean, how many seasons of The Bachelor were there before they had The Bachelorette? A
Yes,
lot.
It started in 2000, I think, and then the women's started in 2006 or 7. So 5 years.
Or like the Marrying Millions. It's always like millionaire
Amen.
guys.
Amen.
And I know there's some millionaire women out there.
course.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
just interesting.
Wow.
It is just pretty interesting. Do we want to go into our questions?
Yeah,
Yes,
we had a
please.
couple. So I think a great question is, are reality shows here to stay, like forever, for all time? Or is this just like a trend of like 20, 30 years and it's going to putter out?
I mean, as we can say how we started this podcast, this has been before even TV.
Yeah.
So like reality TV and reality shows are gonna still on. They're just gonna either become more immersed or like, I don't know,
Yeah. No, they're here to stay.
to stay.
They're here to stay. Especially in the society that we live. So with our phones
That's very
and our
true.
social media
Yeah.
platforms. Yeah. It's here. It's here. How much it will evolve, or the creativity of how
We'll
far
see.
it gets, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
That's interesting. I agree with you guys. I definitely think it's here to stay for all time. We will always be fascinated by love and human relationships in all shapes and forms and things, I think.
Yes.
I guess my next question is, and I think it's a great way to end on, and it's kind of funny. If we were being forced, life or death situation, and we had to pick one of these love reality shows to be on, which one would we pick and why?
I feel like I need a little second.
Well,
Do you know?
yeah, no, I don't know. But if I'm gonna have my thought process out loud with y'all.
Okay.
So I will definitely not do the ones where I take my significant other and like try to see if we can work out a relationship.
Hell no.
It wouldn't
Temptation
be that
Island?
one. I would just end it with him and be like, listen, that's it. We're done. I think out of all of them, I feel like the one that I haven't watched, Love is Blind, would be an interesting one just because I would have to converse a lot with this person. That's the only reason why.
For me, I would pick Love Island UK.
Tell us why, Emmy.
Yeah, tell us why.
It's pretty simple. Just the accents.
It's the
It's
British.
the accents for me. So yeah,
Get
just
it.
go
Get it,
and
babes.
have fun, babes.
Babes.
I loved your answer.
I feel like the Miss Universe answer to this question would be the Love is Blind, because that makes me seem non-superficial and like I care about personalities, which I do.
Say what you want to say.
Here's the thing: is I love the idea of it, but I do feel like on top of having a strong emotional connection, I also need to have a physical connection. But I think some of that could be. I will be willing to give it a try. I think I like the idea that I could get out of it at the end if I wanted to.
True. Exactly.
So I feel like that should have been my answer. But I think if I was really real
Yes.
Real,
and not
be real.
caring what people, it would have to probably be Bachelor in Paradise, because
That's fine.
I could have an amazing vacation, which I know that's not what it's all about.
Yep.
But I feel like there's guys and girls there, so I could make some friendships with some people, but I could also hopefully find love.
True.
And get paid.
Get paid, and hopefully I will get to find love also. But I would be definitely okay if I didn't.
That's the fun part. That's the fun
That's
part.
a really
I
good
forget about the
answer.
friendships
Yeah.
sometimes.
You know what? I will go to marry millions.
You little shit. I knew it. No, I was kidding.
I don't have to think about it. Marry millions. That's
But
it.
what if you end up with
With
the
not-
penniless person?
No, because I'll be the penniless person.
Oh, yeah, but what about, wouldn't you be sad when they were like upset that you weren't the millionaire?
They're not gonna know.
And at the end, they
Nobody's
will.
gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody,
You fake until you make it.
Fake it till you make it. That is so funny.
It's so interesting because I feel like that saying, somebody was saying like it should be different. I don't know. I'll find it and then we talk about it in the next podcast.
Alrighty.
Well, hope you guys like this episode, right?
This was
It
fun.
was really
This
fun.
was very intriguing.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Sorry,
go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to quick. Just one last thing. What the psychologist wound out the ending of their thoughts.
Uh-huh.
and I kind of agree, is that at the end of the day, reality love is not going to harm you, most likely, unless you're like an obsessive person and you waste more time on these people's lives than your own. At the end of the day, you're going to be just fine. Like, you're just escaping, having a little bit of, fun without getting hurt. And so that was the thought process about that.
Of course, definitely.
I just thought that was interesting.
That is true.
You made me remind of something that I really wanted to say, but I feel like I lost my chance because it's in
Take it away.
it's in a different segment.
Okay.
But it was George Clooney once says, and this is about reality TV shows.
Yeah.
Theater actors look down on film actors, who look down on TV actors. Thank God for reality TV shows, or we wouldn't have anybody to look down on.
It's true.
Full circle.
It is full circle. It totally is.
All right. So hopefully you guys like this episode, and see you until the next one.
Until the next
Yeah.
one, follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on everything. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Google Podcast. We do answer our comment section. Leave us comments, ideas of what you would like to hear from us next. Please, we love your
Feedback.
suggestions.
Yes.
So until the next time,
Bye,
everybody.
bye, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys and gals. This was Nobody You Know. Literally. Remember to hit like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Have a question for the guys or a topic you'd love them to discuss? Get in touch. You can find us on all socials at @NobodyYouKnow_podcast. See you next time.